Samantha Edwards. So far, we have not been able to have any information. Now, the affidavit was released. I've had it in my hands for less than 10 minutes. There are a few things I want to point out that are piecing together what led up to Nicole Cable's kidnapping and eventual murder. It was during the Patrick Armstrong case where the state saw a flaw in the way it handled juvenile offenders. What they wanted was for Patrick to serve a blended or bind-over sentence, which simply means allowing him to serve the first part of his sentence in a juvenile facility like this one before entering an adult prison. Chris, I think it's safe to say that I completely lucked out on assignments, and you could not ask for better weather for the Bog Boardwalk to open today. Now, luckily, we do have the equipment now to ditch the live truck and go live just from a backpack so we can take you with us on stories as we go through. But let's get back to the story. Thanks, Chris. The Stonington Co-op is normally bustling with fishermen getting ready for the daily catch, but today it resembled more of a ghost town. In a 45-minute period, I saw 2 lobstermen. Both were making last-minute preparations, but nobody was daring to try the seas or Sandy's wrath. Through the use of taxpayers' money and contractors working around the clock, the city of Patton has been able to improve most of the roads that have been washed away. But it could take up until fall for the city to fully recover.
What has some residents in the town scratching their heads, though, is that the auditor says the town leaders knew about the missing money for at least a year. News Center Samantha Edwards has been investigating this story. And Samantha, for a town this size, $45,000 is no small amount of money.
That's right, Chris. The town of Wesley has 114 residents. And at Monday night's annual meeting, they were told a number, $44,721. That's the amount of money missing from the town's funds. Now, the auditor hired by the town tells me it was a combination of property taxes and excise taxes that never made it into the town's bank account. Most of the money went missing during the 2011-2012 tax season. Since then, the town's former tax collector has stepped down. The most recent year balanced, but some residents of this quiet town are left with questions and demanding answers. Wesley is the type of town where everyone knows each other and for the most part knows what's going on, which is why some were surprised by Article 6 in the town's warrant, nearly $45,000 in missing funds.
The accounting records for the town of Wesley indicate that the money was collected, but it was never put into the bank, so it was never deposited.
People want to know where the money went to. That's quite a substantial amount of money for a small town like Wesley. And they want to get to the bottom of it and find out where our money went to.
Resident Tina Ross says they didn't even know the money was missing until they received the town's warrant for the meeting. But she says the selectmen did.
It's huge. It's a huge, I can't even imagine it. You know, of running the town and this just coming to the surface. I think it should have been done immediately. I don't think that they should have waited a year.
James Wadman was hired as the town's auditor this past year. He also says town officials knew about the missing money. And a previous audit by another firm last year uncovered $39,000 in missing money. He found nearly $6,000 more, bringing the total to nearly $45,000. Wadman was ready to dig deeper, but Tina Ross said selectmen expressed concern at the town meeting.
And they wanted us to vote to just forget about it and continue on.
But that was clearly not what the townspeople had in mind.
You know, the discussion went on for approximately an hour, and I could tell probably 5 minutes in that, you know, the town justifiably is not satisfied with where things are right now, and they would like some answers regarding this.
I mean, it's not like losing a $20 bill out of your pocket. And you go, where did the $20 bill go? That's $45,000. There's a trail there, and I think as a taxpayer and a business owner and everything that we deserve some answers.
The town did vote in favor of Article 6 to investigate the situation. We did try contacting the selectmen, but they were unavailable for comment. The Washington County Sheriff's Office did confirm that they are investigating the missing money. And Chris, this is something that we'll just have to keep following and update our viewers as it comes out. It all started with this flyer that says Nicole was last seen with a man she met on Facebook named Brian Butterfield. Now, since then, that account has been deleted. But one local young man whose name is Brian Butterfield says he needs to clear his name, and he had nothing to do with it.
I was sitting on my couch and watching TV, and Penobscot County Sheriff shows up at my door, and he was looking for Nicole, and I went upstairs and told my mom, because her name's Nicole, And I told him that Nicole was at my house, but it was my mom.
Butterfield says he knew Nicole from school, but only spoke with her a couple times.
I had forgotten about her. I hadn't even remembered her until they said her name to me. And he took my phone and my Facebook, my emails. I even let him search my house. And I gave the consent to search my phone and dump all the information on it.
But Butterfield says he knew about the fake Facebook account in his name and had previously gone to police and Facebook security before Nicole Cable ever went missing.
I got a message from one of my friends to my girlfriend saying that, you know, I was commenting on other girls' pictures and asking other underage girls to hang out, and I'm 19. And I was asking them for pictures that I shouldn't have been.
According to Butterfield, neither the police nor Facebook did anything about it.
I was surprised and upset because I told the police about it. I feel like it could have been prevented. Like, there was no reason that they couldn't have done anything for me. I went into the police station and talked to them, and I called them twice.
Butterfield says ever since news of Nicole's disappearance and the mention of his name on the flyers and in the media, both he and his family are feeling the backlash as people assume he is involved.
My mom's taking it hard, and my whole family, a lot of people are talking to them about it and asking them if it's me, and it's just crazy. Right now, it's not good for me or my family. I want people to know that I just didn't do it, that the sheriff's office cleared me. Like, I'm not involved with this anymore. Like, I'll cooperate all I can. If they want to talk to me more, you know what, they can come and get me. They know where I live. I just want her to be found and brought home safe and sound. And for whoever who's doing this to be caught and brought to justice.
Now, we did speak with Sheriff Glenn Ross with Penobscot County, who said they were aware of the theory of this man that she met on Facebook named Brian Butterfield. Now, they have investigated and questioned this Brian Butterfield, and at this time he is not a suspect, but again, it is an ongoing investigation.
I was awoken by a Gestapo agent who was over my bed. I lived on the top floor with a gun to my head and ordered me to come downstairs, and it was a raid. They used to raid houses. Everyone was taken off into a truck. When it came to my turn, I was only 9 years old then, they just let me go.
Charles Rotmill was 7 when the war broke out. He lost his mother, sister, and his father died in Auschwitz.
And I had to go into hiding. So I'm what they call a hidden child. Whenever I hear these stories that you were talking about, I relive that experience.
Those stories are what happened in Bangor, the defacing of 2 synagogues, symbols of hate lingering on a house of worship. Many members of the congregation who experienced the Holocaust firsthand, like Rotmill, saw the markings as more than an act of vandalism.
Here I am, 80 years old. After all these years, I still have to worry. You know what I mean? I still have to live in fear. That's crazy. It should be over by now.
Beth Israel's Rabbi Goldstein expressed worry that the meaning behind the swastikas might be lost on younger generations.
The more that these symbols are used inappropriately, the less power they retain.
Goldstein wants younger generations to be reminded about what the Jewish community went through and the lives that were lost.
It's a very scary symbol, absolutely scary. Could they use it in more ways than one? And it symbolized the super race, we are the only ones, and so forth.
Beth Israel has painted over the markings, but even then, the offensive images and the emotional damage cannot be erased.
It hurts when they do that. I think it's ignorance, and they should know, at least know that it hurts. It's cowardly to do that. It's insulting. It's like defacing a church. It's a place of worship.
Watch the video?
Yeah, roll the video. Let's see how I did.
To me, the Kandusgag is always just kind of a rite of spring.
For those that are going to be in the race this weekend, I know you've done it multiple times. You're the veteran here. What are some of the kind of concerns that people can think of how the water is now?
Well, probably one of the biggest concerns is, as the most experienced canoeists know, it's not if, but when you're going to tip over.
I don't know if I dressed accordingly, but we'll make do. Hopefully we're not going in.
That's right. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
You can actually see where there might be waves and current.
You were saying earlier that it's important to be scouting. So those people that kind of just jump in the canoe and they're like, all right, we're going to do the Kandusgag, but they don't know, you know, there's rocks. You were saying there's a few points you can get through, but you need to know the area.
You do. It's always very important, if it is, you know, a technical rapid, that you want to scout and have your route planned out in advance.
I know that we're going to be going down this later, I'm a little nervous about that, but I trust you.
So this would be the first kind of major rapid that racers are going to encounter. Going to have more tendency to tip over if you're sideways or broaching sideways on a rock. You know, if there's enough water, a canoe can actually get wrapped right around the rock.
Oh, jeez. Really excited about this. Going through there, is it more about speed or is it more about the maneuvering part at that point?
I was always told in canoe racing, hammer where you can. So where you have, you know, smooth sailing, flat water, you go just as hard as you can. Then when you get to places where it is more technical and you have a lot of things to dodge, you have to slow down so you can get the canoe in between rocks, logs, whatever obstacles there may be.
Now left. We're good, we're good. We gotta get you so you don't grab those gunnels.
We didn't fall. Now, Chris, I know, much to the dismay of our newsroom, I did not make it in the water.
Yes, I know. We were all wondering if you were going to fall in. But you know what? We really enjoyed your paddling style so much that we actually got a little extra video that we want to show again, if we can. Yeah. Okay, so walk me through your form here. How does it work out that you keep taking your hands off the oar?
So just before this, he said, don't let go of the paddle. Don't grab onto the side of the boat and don't lose your paddle. So I just did both and hoped for the best.
I think that's form that probably won't win you the race.
No, but I stayed, my clothes were still dry. I thought I was gonna jump at that point. I mean, I was surprised as all of you. And I don't know how many times we have to keep playing this.
As many as we can. We're gonna live and enjoy this for a while.